Once upon a time, in the ancient land of Phrygia, there lived a king named Midas. King Midas was known throughout the kingdom for his vast wealth. His palace was adorned with gold. His gardens were filled with treasures, and his people were prosperous. Yet, no matter how much gold Midas had, he was never satisfied. His greed knew no bounds, and he always wanted more. He spent his days counting his riches, and every time he gazed upon his treasure, he found himself yearning for even more. His obsession with wealth consumed him, and he cared little for the people around him, including his own family. One day, while King Midas was strolling through his garden, enjoying the beauty of his flowers and fountains, he stumbled upon a mysterious figure sitting by the stream. The man was none other than Dionysus, the Greek god of wine, revelry, and wealth. Dionysus had heard of Midas' unending desire for riches, and amused by his arrogance, he decided to grant the king a wish. "King Midas," said Dionysus with a knowing smile, "I have heard of your longing for wealth, and I am willing to grant you one wish. Ask for anything, and it will be yours." Without a moment's hesitation, Midas immediately replied, "I wish that everything I touch turns to gold." His eyes sparkled with excitement, envisioning the endless treasures that would now be at his command. Dionysus, though bemused by the king's greed, agreed to fulfill the wish. "It shall be done," he said. "But remember, everything comes with a price." King Midas was overjoyed. He could hardly contain his excitement as he imagined himself turning every object, every surface, into gold. The very next day, Midas woke up eager to test his newfound ability. He walked through his palace and touched a vase, and to his amazement, it instantly turned to solid gold. Overjoyed by this, he continued to touch everything in sight. His table, his chairs, even the walls, and each thing he touched transformed into gleaming gold. His dream had come true. His wealth had no limits. However, the joy of turning objects into gold quickly began to fade. As Midas walked through his magnificent garden, he reached out to pluck a rose. The moment his fingers touched the delicate petals, the flower turned to gold. At first, he thought little of it, but soon he realized that everything he touched, no matter how beautiful or useful, was being transformed into something cold and lifeless. His precious flowers, his delicious fruits, and even the trees now stood in his garden as golden statues. Later, Midas sat down to eat, but when he touched the bread, it too turned into gold. Horrified, he tried to pick up a glass of water, only to watch it turn to solid gold the moment his hand made contact. His stomach rumbled with hunger, but no matter what he touched, it all became gold: food, drink, and everything else. Soon, the once prosperous king was starving, unable to eat a single bite of food. Then Midas made a terrible mistake. He hurried to embrace his beloved daughter, who had been the one true joy in his life, but as soon as his arms touched her, she too turned into a solid gold statue. His heart broke as he realized what his greed had cost him. His most precious loved one, now a lifeless statue of gold. Panic and regret flooded over him as he saw the consequences of his selfish wish. His once beautiful, lively world had turned into a cold, lifeless collection of gold. Devastated, King Midas sought out Dionysus once again. He fell to his knees and begged the god to undo the curse. "Please," he pleaded, his voice filled with regret, "I no longer want gold. I would give anything to undo this curse. I have lost everything that truly matters to me. Please restore my life and my daughter." Dionysus, seeing the king's sincere remorse, agreed to lift the curse. "You have learned the hard way, King Midas," the god said. "That gold is not the key to happiness. The things that matter most, love, kindness, family, are not things you can buy with gold. I will reverse your wish, but remember, this lesson will stay with you for life." With a wave of his hand, Dionysus removed the golden touch, and Midas' daughter was restored to life. The gold that had once turned everything it touched back into its natural form, leaving the king in awe of the transformation. His palace, though still filled with riches, felt different now. The gold no longer held the same allure as it once had. The true treasures in life were not the golden objects that surrounded him, but the love of his daughter and the simple joys of life. From that day forward, King Midas vowed to never again be blinded by greed. He learned that wealth and gold, while valuable, cannot bring true happiness. True happiness comes from the love we share with others, from the kindness we show, and from the moments of joy we experience with our loved ones. Midas spent the rest of his days living a humble life, appreciating the beauty of the world and the people around him. His story is a timeless reminder that greed can often lead us astray, and that the most valuable things in life are not material possessions, but the intangible treasures of love, family, and gratitude. King Midas' tale teaches us that no matter how much we accumulate in wealth, it is the simple, beautiful moments in life that matter the most. And sometimes we must lose something dear to us to truly understand the value of the things that cannot be bought.